Welcome back to the channel, everybody. I am Mick Alphaname. I just want to share some thoughts today, and we'll get back to the regular crypto video tomorrow. Are you watching what's going on with the financial system? Out of all these articles that we've covered, there's something fishy going on. Now, let me first lay the foundation of my thoughts. Number one, they want CBDCs badly. The only ones who are saying that they don't want a CBDC system is the United States federal government, which we know is a lie. We know that's a lie, but why? Why would they lie about that, right? We know it's a lie because they've been working with Ripple. They worked with Algorand. And I mean, just as far as absorbing information, we know how they do. They want those systems badly, and they are one of the prime systems in the world that wants to control almost everything to a disgusting degree. But what we've also seen is that when they want to implement something, they typically will create a scenario or an environment where they can either force it on people, or number two, where the people are literally begging for it. That leads me to this and certain observations that we've all been making if you've been following this channel, watching the videos, the information we've been covering. They've had so many bank problems. I mean, beyond commercial real estate, beyond, unrealized losses and such. Have you observed and just taken note of all of the different freezing of accounts? Number one, the deposit flight. They've been treating their customers terribly. Why, as a business, would you treat your customers terribly to the point where they're leaving en masse? Then you don't repair what you're doing wrong. You only increase it. That's another thing. Then all the times they've been hacked. They've been hacked so much, and a lot of it gets buried. They've been hacked so many times. It's unbelievable. Then their e-money, all of a sudden, all their e-money, what do you call it? I think it's called e-money. It's not digital. Digital is DLT. All their e-money apps and offerings, all of a sudden in the last 3 months, they're all having problems out of nowhere. Really? Now, could that be random? Sure. Could that also be on purpose? Yes. Yes. If you want to build a house, you first have to rip down the foundation of the old house to build a new. You don't build on an old foundation. Now, what it looks like to me, it looks, and listen, you don't have to agree with this. You can have your own thoughts. I'm just sharing mine. But what it looks like, and I'm telling you, next year or two, I think we're going to see something major, much bigger than what we've been discussing, as far as the banks going down because of commercial real estate and unrealized losses. No, much bigger than that. I think they want to rip the guts out of the old system so that the people, wait, let me first proceed that by saying this, so that the Fed doesn't have to say, hey, we're going to do a CBDC. The people will literally not be able to, at some point, use capital in the way that they've been used to using it. And they have to use a CBDC where the governments can say, well, hey, that's not working. We do have this CBDC technology, and it will shift people that way into that technology. Which is something, it's something to watch. I'm telling you, because a lot of people are still tied up into these legacy banking systems. You know, I wish that the people didn't have to suffer, but that's just not the reality of the world. So it's something that I'm just keeping my eye on. I'm not saying it's a guarantee, but I'm looking at this and saying to myself, wait a minute, there's just too much happening all at once. So now did you watch the video yesterday? Look at that chapter. I think it was in that video. There's a final chapter where there's another problem with the banks, another real estate problem, in addition to commercial real estate, the multifamily problem. But you can watch that chapter so you can get that direct information. And then if you want, you can look up that article for yourself and read it for yourself. There are so many things that are plaguing the legacy banking system. And sure, that's great for the new financial system. 100%. 100%. But it also brings about a startling revelation of what people who were here early on the channel used to say a lot. They used to say, hey, Mick, they're trying to set up a two-tier society. Uh-oh, wait a minute. There's a lot happening in the United States right now. I'm telling you, people are struggling. And they're just burying that information. Like regular people are struggling. You have to take note of that, right? That changes the dynamics of so much within the United States, how people move around, I mean, the overall way of living changes as things get more difficult. Gas prices going up, OPEC plus cuts, things of that nature. So a two-tier society, it definitely looks like that's happening. The middle class has been getting crushed. So then you think about it. Okay, there's just this tiny, tiny little bit of people holding these bank coins. Swift, if you watch that video that I put out, it was like 2 videos back about Swift and a startling revelation. That wasn't a joke. That wasn't some headline just to get people to click at all. I try to make the headlines as accurate as possible. That was the truth. Swift said they're open to working with outsiders now. They declared this. Then on top of it, they said, in addition to Wise and Chainlink, a blockchain, which opens the door to a myriad of possibilities with the bank coins who are way better than Chainlink. They said they have 7 more entities, outsider, quote unquote, entities they may be working with, or to announce something like that. Hey, go check that article out, and then you can make up your own mind. You can get the accurate information from the article itself. Just type in something on Google like Swift and outsiders, or Swift willing to work with outsiders, something like that. It'll pop up. That was huge. So the bank coins can definitely play. It's not a guarantee, but if that happens while the world is going down, the majority of the world is going down, then bank coin holders, possibly, not financial advice, will be going up. Two-tier society. There's not going to be a middle class after a few years of what it looks like. You're either going up or you're going down. It's one of the two. You're going up or you're going down. That's how it looks right now. When you have articles coming out, and I'm just going by the articles, folks, just going by the articles. But when you have articles coming out and they're saying, hey, at least in the United States, people from $80,000 to $120,000 are struggling. And then we read that other that was like 4 or 5 articles. And I've watched a lot of videos on TikTok. I just scroll sometimes at night before bed. And a lot of videos on TikTok, and people are confirming, hey, they're struggling out here. They're saying how much they make, and they're saying, hey, they're struggling. I don't know where they live, but this is what they're saying. Then we saw another article that went even further than that. They said people from 80,000 to 150,000, not all, but a lot of them are also living paycheck to paycheck. So what does that mean? That means that the middle class definitely is getting crushed. So two-tier society definitely would be possible, because if the bank coins serve as this engine of the new financial system, then once again, the new 1% will be going up as everything else goes down. Most people would not get back in time. It doesn't matter what it is right now, because they're doing such a heavy FUD campaign on Bitcoin is unbelievable. As BlackRock takes over Bitcoin, by the way, they're just buying up miners. Do a Google search on that. Don't just take my word for it. Question everything. I want you to look everything up. I want you to know for yourself. Right? But BlackRock's buying up all those Bitcoin miners. Why? So the FUD campaign to get people out of Bitcoin has been heavy globally. So the regular people of the world have been getting really turned away from crypto. By the time everything starts skyrocketing, it'll be too late. And that bull run is coming. Always coming for sure. It'll be too late. They won't be able to get back in. If they do buy in, they'll buy in at all-time highs. And they'll get caught holding a bag. Because what I think the elite are going to do is a rinse and repeat type of thing. They don't care about crypto. Like, they really don't. They will skyrocket crypto, take everybody's money, then crash it. Right? And then the people are so easily shaken. They're so easily made distraught to where they just give up. Like permanently give up and just say, oh man, I'm done. That's it for them. You skyrocket that up there, right? And then they get in at all-time highs. Then it crashes because, like I said, if you got BlackRock controlling everything, they're buying up all the miners, right? You have Wisdom Tree, Valkyrie. Oh, that big money is going to move everything. Move it up, move it down. And they can crash it anytime they want. Boom. Right? Regular people will be done. New 1% will be that would become one of the greatest how do you say that? Calls, prophecies? I don't know what that's supposed to, but it would be true. And it'd be one of the greatest of all time. Predictions. There you go. My apologies. And that's what it looks like. It looks like that's going to happen. This is why those big companies are getting in. And first, they will feast off of those regular people, right? Then they will feast off of each other. There will be just all out war, between them. They're looking to absorb each other. They're looking to become monopolies if they can, and they will rip each other apart. Like you see how Vanguard is the biggest holder of BlackRock, and BlackRock is the biggest holder of Vanguard, right? They're pretty much the same company. You will see more and more entities coming together like that. So, I mean, I'm throwing a lot of thoughts out there, but let me circle back around. Why would all that occur? Because I want to tie it all together, okay? The way that money is moving now, there's so much liquidity being pulled. And don't get me wrong, they turn the money printer on so many times, and they will turn it on again. But each time they do, they have to pull more and more liquidity. There's more and more debt. None of the countries really want to work with debt anymore, even though they have to at this point because they're so far, they're so deep in. They have to just continue to issue debt. They know that can't continue forever. They're ready for something new. So there's less and less liquidity out there. Not only that, wage growth for the regular people, wage growth cannot keep up with inflation. But the more and more they issue debt, there's going to be more and more inflation, of course. Right. So, I mean, it's a repeating cycle. How does that end? I mean, it just doesn't end well. Right. So once again, that goes into what a lot of the people were saying. So everything that's happening right now supports what the people have been saying. So now it brings to mind currency reset. Getting deep, isn't it? I mean, hey, it's been like 2.5 years. We've done so much research here. 2.5 years covering crypto. And this is what the research has led to. Currency reset. I posted a document in the members only section the other day. I can't remember what it's titled, but you'll know. And it goes over certain key things. Take a look at that, and it's shocking. It's shocking. Every single one of those things is happening. It's bad enough if one of them is happening. Every single one of them is happening to a degree. The people are not ready, and I get it. The people want the world to flow how it always has flown. They want everything to continue on as they have known it. People are very averse, however you want to say that, to change. They're very much against change. They like things to remain the same. To where one of the prevalent human mentalities is, oh man, you didn't change. You changed. Like as if that's something bad. Everything changes. The trees, start out as seeds, grow into sprouts and become trees later on, and everything grows. Babies start out as the embryo, grow into full grown adult. Everything changes, but the human mentality, a large portion of humans have this mentality of if something changes, it's not good, it may be bad. They fear change. People fear things that they do not know, right? So this changing of an age was going to happen. Everything has its cycles, its rise and its fall. the monetary systems, and they're heavily ingrained in the way that people live. There's no barter systems anymore, which probably would have come in handy. They've removed things from the precious metal standards and such like that. But this change was always going to come. It's always going to manifest. The world has its seasons. Yep. Life has its seasons, its cycles. It's spring, it's summer, it's winter, and it's fall. Everything rises and everything falls. This was always going to come. Things must change. The United States will not remain. It's not the same as it was 2 years ago. And it's not the same as it was 5 years ago. It's been in a rapid state of change. The global economy has been in a rapid state of change. You think the currencies are not going to change? Ripple released this article of these statements today, or maybe it was yesterday, where they're saying that they're going on a global hiring spree. Why do you think that is? It's not just because of the SEC. I think a lot of the times the SEC is a smokescreen. A lot of the time, you want me to be honest? I do. Yeah, they're dogs for sure. SEC are dogs for sure. But I think sometimes Ripple, I don't know how to phrase it. It's like they're setting up a true global system. And yeah, they have a battle with the SEC, but I think they're just using it as like a cover. I don't know how to explain it fully. It's like right on my mind. You ever have something like that? But they're doing it in a way where it takes light off of all of these big relationships that they have in the US. Get what I'm saying? Because they say things like, well, we're on a global hiring spree, but not in the US, everywhere else, but not in the US. Like, now maybe that's true, but are we going to negate all of those partnerships that you have with these huge banks in the United States? Are we supposed to look away from that? Because I'm certainly not. Why are you trying to direct my vision? Anytime someone starts trying to direct a vision, my vision or the people's vision, I start questioning them. If you're pointing over here, I immediately start thinking, what's going on over there? Because I'm always of that mind. No, I never want to put myself in a position where someone can deceive me or trick me, ever. So I'm going to look everywhere. That's possible. That's feasible, right? That doesn't take me too far off of the pathway I'm supposed to walk. But I'm not going to look just where you're pointing me. But Ripple sometimes says, "What were you?" It's like, no. You have a global system. Yep, you have a global system, and I don't know if you want people to be caught off guard, because at the same time, you always talk about flipping the switch. You see? So while some people may think, and once again, not financial advice, while some people might think to themselves, hey, Ripple's all over the world, but they're not ready to start in the US yet. Let me sell my XRP, go play over here in this other crypto or this commodity or something else where I can make some money. Right? Then all of a sudden they flip that switch and boom, that price starts going up. And then now, if you want to get in, you got to get in at a higher place than you were before. You're out of there. You get what I'm saying? That opportunity is gone. It's not the same. And it's like, sometimes I question that, like, wait a minute. I don't know. It's just thoughts that I'm having. I don't like to take those types of chances. I take plenty of chances, just not those types of chances where somebody's going to catch me off guard and then all of a sudden I'm cut out of what I've been setting myself up for a long time. And once again, it goes back to that mind state of, what do you believe? Where's your willpower? Do you want to stay with something or not? It's up to you. But what you don't do is let an outside force dictate that for you. That's the most dangerous thing. That's like giving a stranger your wallet, giving a stranger your soul. You don't know their intentions. No, you protect your wallet. You protect your mind, right? So I try to be careful of the directions of energies and mind, such, right? So anyway, now moving on. Every single financial powerhouse is in big trouble. Big trouble. United States definitely is in massive trouble. China is in big trouble. And here's another thing that's very interesting. I'm seeing all these articles written about China's shadow bank problem as if the United States doesn't have the most massive shadow bank problem ever. And that's something that's dangerous. The United States is so good at covering up information, no shot at them. I'm just saying it is true. So the regular people are not privy to this. They think everything's okay. The shadow bank. Oh, my word. So anyway, so you have China financially in trouble. United States is financially in trouble. Japan is financially in trouble. Germany, obviously, you've been hearing about Germany. Germany, from what I'm reading in the articles, is definitely economically in trouble. Europe itself is in trouble, right? And there's so much going on. We're going to see how OPEC plus cuts and things like that affect everything. The moving of grain around the world. All of this affects the capital flow, and the capital flow and issuing of debt also to try to rebalance things. Printing of this fiat currency constantly to rebalance things, even though that's going to cause an imbalance. All of that affects crypto, crypto stocks, from top to bottom. Everything has had to be majorly adjusted for entities and people to continue to play in these markets right now. So this is why, even though the next bull market, I think, is going to be way bigger than much bigger than what we saw before, it's also going to be, and keep this in mind, it's going to be so much more vicious because people are going to take it seriously like there is no tomorrow. Yeah. They're going to make decisions like as if they may not wake up the next day. Like there's going to be just a brutal lion shark environment, and people better be prepared when that bull market pops off. And I know, see, here's the thing. The bank coins are one thing. Let's put them to the side. Regular crypto is going to be a war zone. Regular people are going to be trying to feast on those cryptos, and they are. Some of them, a lot of crypto is going to go away, but there's going to be a lot of regular cryptos left. They do have some utility, and they're going to be popping off. Boom, 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 boom. Some of them have some serious projects going on. If people have been watching those regular cryptos that we don't talk about that much on the channel, and they are going to pop off, and people are going to feast on them. They have no loyalty, no love for them. I'm going to feast on some of them, and I'm ready for it. It's going to be absolute war. You're going to have to keep your eyes on those charts or set your bots or whatever it is, those things where people allow something to trade for them, whatever it is. I'm telling you. And then on top of that, you got these companies are going to play also. Yeah, it's going to be bigger, but it's going to be, I think things are going to move faster. So I'm keeping that in mind as well, to be ready at any moment for when that bull market pops off. Now I really do believe it could be in 2024, 100%. That's how I feel. Could it happen in 2025? Yeah, but I think 2024 is it. I'm leaning heavily towards 2024. MiCA legislation, you have what's going on in China. There's so much going on. You got Ripple now making that push to try to get some kind of legislation passed in the United States. There's so many good things happening. And those few who are there to experience, if everything does go according to plan, those few chosen ones, and that's exactly what they are. Everything in their lives led up to these moments that are to come. I mean, don't get me wrong. That first bull run, there were so many millionaires made, it wasn't even funny. Now, what they did with that capital, that's on them. If some people saved the capital, some people did. They definitely did. But if some people blew the capital, that was on them. But it doesn't negate the truth that there was so many millionaires made in that last bull run. It was unbelievable. Unbelievable. And I think even more will be made in the coming bull run. They'll make even more than the ones in the last bull run. If they're smart, if they're wise, did their research, did they're preparing before time, like this is a fight, like this is a war we're going into. They just prep, research, know what's happening, know what's what. If those people are not in now, once again, not financial advice, not a financial advisor, but if not in now, then know when they would want to get in, when they would want to sell, do all that preparatory work beforehand, which I know a lot of people probably already have done. But yeah. So it doesn't negate that truth. Yeah, millionaires were made in that last one, man. And my hope is that whatever people accomplish with this, that they are able to become their greatest self, find peace, find happiness, you know, um, live well, and make of the world, your world, the best that you can. Be healthy physically, be healthy in the mind. I think these are the greatest end goals. What else can capital bring you? The happiness brings you some sort of peace, right? Love those around you. Build something that's lasting. And don't blow it. Don't blow it. So many people blew it, the last time around. Buying toys only gets you so far. Lambos and mansions only get you so far. Build something that's lasting. Generational wealth, right? Sometimes the wealth doesn't come, but the riches come. Riches might go a little faster. Got to be careful with that. You can be great. Life can be a beautiful adventure. But you have to have a strong mind, protect yourself at all times, know why you're doing something, know where you want to go, know you have internal strength, know that happiness does not come from external things, it comes from your internal. It comes from your own mind and your perception of things, perception of the people around you. It comes from the decisions that are rendered from your mind. So if you just decide to have good people around you, you will experience the peace and the goodness and the love of those people around you. But if you decide to be in a chaotic environment, then you shall walk that path and you shall experience the effects of such. Build something great. Not advice. Build something great for yourself. Know what you want so that if you live in any type of confusion, that you can do away with it now before your time to shine comes. You do not want your time to shine to come and you are still in a state of confusion or chaos. Resolve issues now. Live well tomorrow. Live well today, knowing that you are acting to resolve any types of issues you may have. Be at peace with your physical body and be at peace here. The real wealth and riches, and don't get me wrong, I love to make some capital. The real wealth and riches are in this physicality here and mostly here. This filters out into the physical. So have peace here primarily. Find your balance if you have not already. You are great. Shine.